This is Michael Popok with a Legal AF hot take. Did Donald Trump or didn't he? Did he lunge for a Secret Service agent while they were riding in the Beast, the giant armored SUV, after the ellipse speech on Jan 6th to try to direct and commandeer the SUV and take that SUV to the Capitol? Did he or didn't he? Well, we got a new transcript that's released, which is consistent with the testimony that was told by Cassidy Hutchinson and is consistent with what ended up in the Jan 6 final report, all from a Secret Service agent named Bobby Engel. Bobby Engel reported to the head of the detail, Tony Ornato. Tony Ornato, according to Cassidy Hutchinson, when she saw Bobby Engel sitting in a seat after the events transpired, because Cassidy Hutchinson conveniently in history had an appointment and it was away from the Capitol while she was assisting as Mark Meadows' assistant, saw Bobby Engel upset and disheveled and said to Tony Ornato for the Secret Service, "What happened?" And he said, "Oh, didn't you hear?" And then Tony Ornato relayed a now infamous second or third hand hearsay report that, according to him, according to Bobby Engel, that Donald Trump fired up, upset, insistent, tried to leap from the back of the Beast, the belly of the Beast, to the front of the car to grab the wheel to take the car to the Capitol when the Secret Service told him there was no plan in place, no security plan in place to do so. Now, we've got the transcript has finally been released through the Department of Homeland Security and landed in the laps of the MAGA Republicans in the Oversight Committee. And they're saying, "Oh, see, we've got new reporting. We have the interview of Bobby Engel. And Bobby Engel's interview is that Donald Trump was irate. He was upset. He was insistent, but he didn't lunge for the wheel," as if this matters. The fact that what I'm debating during this hot take is whether the then president of the United States tried to leap into his SUV to grab the wheel away from his security detail, or whether he just ordered them to do it and was upset when they wouldn't, matters not a whit. We're talking about how many devils dance on the head of a pin at this point. But to the Republicans, anything that doesn't track exactly perfectly, I got news for them. I've been doing litigation and trial work for a long, long time. Memories aren't perfect. We are not computers. We are not artificial intelligence. We are intelligence. And memory and recall are different. And what Cassidy Hutchinson testified to as the assistant to Mark Meadows, the chief of staff at the time, is her conversation, having observed Agent Engel, Bobby Engel, having had a direct conversation with Tony Ornato. Now, Bobby Engel didn't tell her that. And the Jan 6 committee never misled anyone to believe that she had. And when she testified, as she said, third-hand knowledge. Okay, third-hand knowledge about what she heard and what she saw with her own eyes in terms of a disheveled, upset Bobby Engel. Now, the transcript from Bobby Engel's testimony said there was no lunging. Okay, I don't think this covers Donald Trump with any glory. Okay, big guy, you didn't lunge, but you did everything else. Bobby Engel himself testified, according to the transcript, and there's about 12 different Secret Service transcripts. Secret Service was not comfortable or happy, if you recall, with cooperating willingly with the Jan 6 committee. They didn't want to play politics, even though, let's be frank, a lot of the agents side with the whatever president that they're covering at the time. And many of them sided with Donald Trump, to be frank with you, and shaded, I believe, their testimony as a result. That's pretty clear. But there was a negotiated resolution where the general counsel for the Secret Service arranged with the Jan 6 committee to provide 12 interviews. Those interviews were kind of kept under lock and key. They were, just like the rest of the underlying materials for the Jan 6 committee, eventually they've been released to the public, or they're still being released to the public. Those 12 were so highly sensitive, those 12 interview transcripts, that they're being reviewed by the Department of Homeland Security before they're being released. And now we've got Bobby Engel's. Now, according to the people that have seen the transcript, Bobby Engel said the following in his transcript, in his testimony. The President Trump was insistent on going to the Capitol. He was the driver at the time, Bobby Engel. It was clear to me he wanted to go to the Capitol. He was not screaming. He was not screaming. His voice was raised, but he did not seem that he was irate. Okay? But his lead agent, Bobby Engel, told him no, that he couldn't go. That is the takeaway. that Donald Trump, in the belly of the beast of the car of the SUV, wanted to go to the Capitol to join the Jan 6th insurrectionists. And the only reason he didn't end up there, and he didn't end up there egging on and fomenting more riot, more insurrection. I don't know, maybe picking up a piece of plywood or a battering ram or a barricade or something to urge on his patriots, the ones he continues in his campaign rallies, even today, to call his patriots. The reason he didn't go there is not because he didn't want to go there. Now, we always thought he was a coward, and he said, I'll meet you at the Capitol, and then headed back to the White House. He wanted to go to the Capitol, which is worse. He wanted to see the results of his handiwork. He wanted to lead the charge, right? What else is a rogue commander-in-chief going to do when he's got 2,000 troops of his under his command at the Capitol? Lead them, right? Like some sort of perverse, corrupt George Washington. Your dog, like my Lily, is a member of the family, so serve them the top quality food they deserve. Serve them Nom Nom. All dogs are individuals, and they deserve to be served like it. Nom Nom delivers freshly made dog food personalized to your dog's preferences and unique caloric needs. Nom Nom is made with 100% premium ingredients. That means 0% freaky fillers or funky stuff. Dogs love great tasting meals just like us, yet their nutritional needs are different than ours. That's why Nom Nom's nutrient-packed recipes are developed by board-certified veterinary nutritionists, freshly made and shipped free to your door. Nom Nom has already delivered over 40 million meals. That's because the best dogs, yours, deserve the best food, theirs. As listeners know, my dog Lily is truly part of our family, and I don't know what I'd do without her. That's why I'm committed to only giving her the best. Board-certified vet nutritionists develop each of Nom Nom's recipes to provide dogs with the proper balance of vital nutrients required to thrive. Oh yeah, and they're floor-licking delicious too. Nom Face Assured, or your money back guaranteed, meaning if your dog isn't deliriously excited about dinner, then it's a money back guarantee. Say bye to your boring dog food. Your dog deserves a reason to run to their bowl for every single meal, every single day. Go right now for 50% off your no-risk 2-week trial at trynom.com/legalaf. Spelled trynom.com/legalaf for 50% off. trynom.com/legalaf. To me, it matters not a whit whether Cassidy Hutchinson's admittedly third-hand knowledge that was put as part of the testimony of the American people about what she heard is slightly different than what the driver and Bobby Engel said about what transpired in that SUV. It doesn't matter to me because at essence, it was consistent. It was corroborated. An irate Donald Trump wanted to get to the Capitol and was berating the Secret Service to make it happen. Okay, so I like the imagery, like it's some sort of White House Down movie of Donald Trump leaping from the back of the ride to get to the secret, like he's some sort of deranged Harrison Ford. Sure, that was interesting. But the true story is interesting too. And the January 6th committee took pains in their report to tell the world that there were security detail testimony. There was Secret Service detail that was inconsistent on that particular issue with Cassidy Hutchinson. And so what? And now the Republicans are all up in arms, not because they want to get to the bottom of the truth, but because they want to continue to chip away at the hard work of their colleagues who were the only ones who were brave enough to actually conduct a special committee about what happened on Jan 6th, to get to the bottom of it, while all the other Republicans took their practice ball and went home, while the game for democracy went on. And so now we've got the reporting about Bobby Engel. Look, we're going to get other transcripts. Just to let our audience know, they are still sifting through materials that the Jan 6 committee reviewed to release them along with the report that's been out since a year ago, December, to the American people. I'll let you be the judge. We try not to blow smoke or sunshine on the MeidasTouch network. I certainly don't do it during my legal AF hot takes or on the podcast. So we're bringing it to you straight. You make your own call about this. I'm giving you my professional opinion at the intersection of law, politics, and justice, where I sit regularly for this network. So we'll continue to follow the overreaction by the Oversight Committee for their own political purposes and political gain, having nothing to do with trying to protect this democracy and constitutional republic from being toppled by the next Donald Trump or Donald Trump again. And I don't think it is any great defense for the Republicans or Trump or MAGA or Marjorie Taylor Greene or Stephen Chung or whoever else comes out of the rock in the middle of the night from which they crawled to say, see, he didn't try to leap over and try to commandeer the SUV. Yeah, he just yelled and screamed at Secret Service, who are shading the truth here, you can tell, in order to make sure that he was at the front, the tip of the spear for the attack on the Capitol against elected officials and people that were hell-bent because of Donald Trump on assassinating elected officials and their staff wherever they could find them. God help us. God help us if the small band of outmatched Capitol Police and Metro Police weren't there. God help us if that building was completely unprotected. They were already overmatched and outwitted in a way. But God help us if they hadn't used whatever guile they had, whatever equipment they had to hold the line as much as they could. We'll continue to follow everything that comes out about the Jan 6 committee so no one gets fatigued. We can't get fatigued in the protection of our democracy. And in the support, this should have been a non-news story, but I got to talk about it on my hot take because people are talking about it in ways that are corrupt and ways that are incorrect factually. So if you like these kind of hot takes that give you information that you can use in your own daily life, in your own debate, your own conversation, your own peace of mind, come to the right place. Michael Popok here on the MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF every Wednesday and Saturday, the leading podcast at the intersection of law and politics. On Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and then on audio podcast platforms wherever you get your podcast from. So until my next hot take, and if you like this one, keep the ratings up, keep the lights on, thumbs up, and leave a note. You know, if we're interactive in this type of communication, this type of content, then it helps keep us on the air. That's the way it works. It's not like CNN where they record your eyeballs somehow. The way they record that you like this is the way that I just described. So until my next hot take, until my next Legal AF, this is Michael Popok reporting.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.